What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Kishshana, and I am back for another quick shot of vitamin K. So, friends, we've been talking about managing. So, managing yourself, managing up, and today we're going to talk about managing down. Now, I couldn't come up with a better phrase for it, y'all, so I'm sure there's something fancy out there, but to hell with that. So, we're going to talk about managing down. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about managing your team, and actually, I'm talking about managing people who you don't actually directly manage, but they're at a different point in your organizational chart and you've got to work together. I see the friction the most with managing down with managers who have been recently promoted and are now managing their peers. Because on the one hand, you're like, oh my gosh, I got this promotion. I'm super excited. And your peers are happy for you, typically, unless they're haters, different conversation. But then there comes the sticky wicket part. The people who you used to go out after work with and have happy hour or play softball with and kick it with. Now there's a different dynamic in how you engage at work. And since work are really just a different type of relationship, I want to talk to you about how to navigate that relationship when the dynamic has changed. So first things first, I want you to acknowledge with the team that you manage that things are different. And if you are inheriting a team and folks look like they're a different age from you, different generation from you, acknowledge the difference that's happening in the room. Ultimately, and I say this all the time, so if you've been in the Kishshanaverse a while, you're going to probably repeat it with me. People just want to be seen and heard. And so acknowledging that there's something different happening in the dynamics that are happening in the room and on your team is an important step in order to set the tone for how you're going to manage folks. The next thing is to really do an assessment. And I like my managers to do this a few times a year. What's working well? What are you doing that you didn't expect to be doing? And what has been in the bike rack so long you're wondering, do we ever really want to get to this? When you're managing down, I want you to manage to that accountability aligned with the access and the success. Oftentimes, we look at accountability as something punitive, but I like to look at accountability as an opportunity to say, I see you and I support you in getting to your goals. And I'm going to help you in that by ensuring that we have some measurable things that we can track along the way so that we know we're on the good foot. And I think that's a really healthy way to look at it. So when you're managing your team, whether it's your team that directly reports to you or a team that you have put together or are assigned to for a project team, you've got to understand the WIIFM for each person. Now, Kish, what's the WIIFM? What's in it for me? It's typically a marketing term, but I think that it matters in every aspect of our life. Right now, the Queen Ager, when I ask her to do something, I am sure she has a mental question, what's in it for me? So when you're thinking about managing down and managing your people, it's not just about the company's bottom line. It's not just about your business unit's goals, but it's really making sure you understand why people show up every day. What's in it for them? What do they get out of it as well? And being able to offer clarity around the risk and the reward. Make sure you are building in small wins for your team, particularly if you are a manager who is managing a team that you're resetting the pace for the team. Oftentimes we think we got to come in with our hands rolled up. We're ready to go. Guns blazing. We don't have to do that. We can come in and we can start with what I said, acknowledging what's actually happening in the space, naming your work style and what things really get you excited and what things make you want to have a V8. Learning from your team members what they're excited about, what's their WIIFM, and what makes them want to have a V8. If you're inheriting a team that's calling out a lot, you got to figure out, get in there with them. What's happening right now? Something's happening in their engagement at work that's making it go down. Something's happening in the environment. Something's happening that's not great. And we want to make sure that we are pointing to that. And then lastly, making sure that there are clear, quantifiable goals. that your team members can get behind and they have the resources to be able to deliver on in order to feel successful so they can keep building that Lego stack of success in their own career and under your tutelage. And last but not least, get help. Management is different than leadership in that it is the block and tackle work. You are in it every single day with your people. And so you are going to need support in order to be able to manage effectively at each step and stage in your career. Because things look different at year 1 than they do at year 15. If this is you and you're like, oh my gosh, I totally need support on this. What I have been struggling. I don't want to tell anybody. I'm embarrassed. I've been meaning to. I've put it off. I've listened to all the podcasts. And now you're ready to get started. I want you to contact us below so you can talk with me or one of my team members on how we can help you manage more effectively and manage from a place of wellness and of health, because healthy teams are thriving teams. Y'all, that's all I got for now. So I will be back again with another quick shot of vitamin K.